creating a live broadcast. And hopefully this time it works. And we're only 2 minutes late. But, we are never ready. This is not a glitch, but a feature.
Just a little bit of chaos.
Just to make sure that it's real. This time. All right. Okay. Switch off the button and hello. Hi. Welcome, Otto. Welcome, everybody. I am back with a whole new thing that's happening. And I'm not actually sure if I mentioned this morning. However, let me mention it now. Otto and I have been talking over the last little while about how to check in with the world by choosing your reality tunnel. And we've thought that one of the things that we'd like to do to ground ourselves going forward in the work that we've been doing on establishing a new podcast and delivering the critique, if you'd like to say, of the conversations that Ingmar Bergman has with death, as portrayed in his movie, The Seventh Seal. What we'd like to do at the beginning of these work sessions, when we get together, is to bring the news of the world and the talk of the day to the fore and just try and ground ourselves in a attitude and a mindfulness and a concentration that's conducive to us producing our best work at all times. So, Otto, thank you so much for all your support in this and those and so many ventures that you and I have built up over the last few years. Undertaken indeed. Yes, and so thank you so much for all your support in that, and thank you for agreeing to come and do this. And I thought that we'd start by me just asking you to introduce yourself and your place and where you're coming from, what you're bringing to this live broadcast, this daily live show.
Well, thank you for that wonderful introduction. It's always a pleasure to spend time chatting with you. That's rather a tall order. But let me see. I survived birth, grew up, went to school, left school, and I've been puttering along ever since. But I do like the idea of our show title, Skillful Samsara, if there can be such a thing. And I'm sure I have Buddhist friends that will gnash their teeth at the thought. But the fact is that we are in a samsaric world. Samsara, of course, is a verb. It's something that you do. And it is not a place. It's an activity. And like all activities, it shapes our minds, and our minds shape the activity. Well, you have to think about something before you can do it. Intention is all. But if your intentions are not skilled, if your intentions are not are informed by ignorance, ignorant, rather than with insight and clarity, you're bound to get in trouble. And of course, insight and clarity only come with a lot of hard work. And unfortunately, unless we do that work, the things that we engage in the world, we're going to engage in very unskillfully. Very few of us are going to go off to a forest and live in a tree or, practice an extreme ascetic lifestyle. We live in the world. We have households. And at the same time, though, we care for our spiritual selves. We do have a spiritual side. And no matter how much our modern world of reductionist science would like to deny that, we have a spiritual aspect to ourselves. And that spiritual aspect has spiritual needs. If you want, you can say psychological, which is how they usually reduce it. But even so, so since we're going to be engaging in the samsaric world, we are, of course, going to be creating samsara. The idea is to make it as skillful as you can. We have to live in the world, but we can live in the world on our terms, not on the world. I think that's where I'm trying to come from with that.
Awesome. Yes. I love that idea. I love that feeling of empowerment that you get from adopting that intentional attitude to your life. I very much like the peace and the tranquility that you could get in being able to accept events unfolding around you. But I also feel that that needs to be balanced with the responsibility of bringing your best game and coming with the highest level of sort of concentration or focus or dedication that you can to every task that you do, whether it is a small menial task like feeding the dog, or whether it is a big noble task like, I don't know, saving the world. So what sort of topics, Otto, are you thinking of us mulling over the next season as we explore this concept until we come to the end of it?
One of the things I wanted to say first was when you talk about things unfolding around you, to speak of how things unfold about us is not a call to passivity. Our own actions and activities are also unfolding. Our own demonstrations of agency, if you like, are also an unfolding. I think the key really is that you need to have your center of gravity within yourself. Things around us we tend to look at and project ourselves into. You know, we see something, it very much triggers us, it engages our attention, and we take on an identity in this world that we create around this thing, and suddenly we are no longer centered in ourselves. We're outside of ourselves, where this thing is outside of us, and it becomes so all-important and it pulls us down. It can destroy us. But if we concentrate on ourselves and saying to ourselves, no matter what things unfold around me, I am dealing with them from where I stand. I'm not over there trying to balance on one toe, but I'm here firmly on both my feet, possibly leaning on something or someone. But even so, we need to make ourselves the center. And I know this goes against all of our programming of like, oh, think of others and da-da-da-da, but unless you are firm in yourself, you really are helpless to a great extent in the hands of these things. So, and that's one of the reasons why it's important as we go through life, and you know, we look at current events, things happen around us, our friends and family want to talk about these things, they get very worked up. It's very easy for us to, again, move our center of gravity outside into these events. But when we can look at them more calmly, and that's a huge thing, not invest in the, oh my goodness, this happened. You know, this happened, this terrible tragedy, this child is crying, this person was hurt, and you instantly stop thinking. It's like, well, we have to do this, this, and this. It's like we need to look at things calmly and try to think about them as wisely as possible, moving from the general to the particular, which is all we really have. So, but yeah, things like that would be good for us to talk about, I think.
Awesome. I am really, really, really looking forward to it. Okay, Otto, well, thank you very, very much. And yeah, final thoughts before we sign off.
Well, I just hope that if anyone ever does listen to this, that they get a kick out of it. And who knows, we might pick up some listeners eventually. I do think that your trademark of not engaging with any of the posts or any of the posts during the live stream is a real winner. So, or are we going to engage in? If people want to make comments during the live stream, are we going to engage with them?
What we're doing right now on this Bob Dub channel is an onboarding experience of establishing something brand new. Hasn't been done.
Right.
And as a brand new producer, I can't cope with so many distractions because I'm a very old woman, right? So for
Yes, ma'am.
now, all the comments are disabled. Once we get this show properly established and get the format good and we ready to go and all that, we'll move over from the kiddie fields here in Bobbing Along, and we'll move into Navakavada, and we
Navakavada
will
territory.
do the whole thing with the people there and the talking and the questions and all the bells and whistles. Yes, we will. But
Excellent.
one step at a time. All right, so thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.
And see you again tomorrow.
Yana.